To that viewer who used to like to see the different types of sawdust building up right here because it sort of was reminiscent of different projects in the past, I got bad news for you. You know, thinking about it now, I guess I could have left it. Now it's too late. Anyway, normally this is plugged in over here. And I'm going to see if I can't somehow have it suspended somehow over top of right here, and it could just sort of follow along without causing any resistance to this thing. At least that's the plan. My problem is I've been so terribly spoiled, like when I'm turning pens or anything, because the pen turning is done right in front of this right here, and there's absolutely no sawdust or chips or nothing. It gets sucked in almost faster than the cutter cuts them off. Or I guess it wouldn't be the cutter on a pen, but you know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to try and do that. And I'm looking for any excuse at all not to actually have to do this. I've made a couple of major changes, and besides this one, I've also moved this whole thing in, about just over an inch. The reason being is I realized that I could pull this back a lot further, and that way there's less of a distance sticking out, so that if you do get a bit of a catch, there's less leverage because the cutter is closer to this than sticking away out. Yeah, and I've got it adjusted so that it's going to turn this a little on the fat side. All the dimensions, like right here and here, they're going to be yeah, just a little bit oversized, and that way it'll give me room for you know, tweaking it up and getting all the little grooves. Well, I think you know what I'm talking about. And also for sanding. You know, I can't give it to them looking like this. Anyway, I think we're just about ready to give this a whirl and you know, see how it's going to go. Now, I think it was yesterday I was saying that I'm going to just push this in carefully by hand because it goes in so very easily. It doesn't take very much effort at all. It slides quite easily. And normally what happens is this comes all the way back, and this end here goes through a little hole, and this wing nut tightens up on the other side here. But if I pull this all the way back, like obviously there's a spring in there, it's so terribly tight that the follower is terribly tight up against the whatever it is you're trying to copy, whether it be a template or just another spindle like this. And if this system doesn't work doing it by hand, what I'm going to do is try to make an extension so that, you know, it will just be barely pulling. Because when I go like this, there's very little effort. As you can imagine, the spring isn't pulled very taut. But when it's way back like this, it increases probably, I'm guessing, 10 times. Another thing that could have been designed a little better, I think. Yeah, I know. So people are saying, so why didn't you design it yourself, Ron? Anyway, maybe I'll put a little bit of STP in this. Just free it up just a little bit. Now I can't remember here if this brass tube, I don't know if you can see it there, but there's a brass tube that this is sliding in. I don't know if it goes all the way through, or if it's just a case of there's a bushing here or a bushing there. It's been so long since I took this thing apart. Yeah, it seems to be going pretty freely. Well, I think we're ready to do it. See what happens. Like I say, I have never done this before. This may not work out, but you're going to see it along with me for the first time. I honestly have not tried it yet. Well, I think you probably have the idea now how this works. Not that you didn't already. And pushing it in by hand like this kind of works actually better than I thought it would. I think I'm going to use a combination of the two. Pushing it in by hand and moving it back and forth like this with the wheel. But in the meantime, I'm going to get the camera out of the way here and see if I can't at least do one. Gotta watch I don't get too many chunks torn out like right there. I mean, that's almost down as far as it's supposed to go. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let me get the camera out of the way and see what I can do here.